I would say that is one of the most powerful things you can do.
If you want to be a genius, lean into that you probably don't know. That everything we think we have known is now going to be called into question. And that the new genius is leaning into the unknown.
Anything you've ever truly wished for in your entire life, you have gotten 100% of the time.
If you commit to doing this, you will learn so much about yourself.
Because truthfully, when you wish for something with all of your heart, never in history has the universe or God failed to give it to you.
And I promise you that is much more powerful than any expert ever telling you that.
But I think it's more important is to realize that self-esteem is earned. It's only earned by you with yourself. You're not going to get self-esteem because everybody praises you. Someone can tell you your whole life that you're brilliant, you're a genius, you're beautiful, you're handsome, and you not believe it. Someone can tell you you're a piece of crap and you're never going to become anything. And there's a part of you can say, I'll show you, as many people have, and then they develop drive out of it, right? So it's really, self-esteem comes from doing incredibly difficult things where you know you pushed yourself. It's not virtue signaling. It's not telling people about it. It's what you know inside your soul is true.
Meaning they wish to be there. If they wished to be anywhere else, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. And by extension, they would be exactly where they wish to be. I want you to understand at home, whether you're successful or unsuccessful, you wish to be where you are. If you wished to be big, you'd be big. You would train all day, every day. There is no such thing as wanting to be big and wishing to be big truthfully and not being big.
What is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
People will tell you not to take risks, and it's very well intentioned. But there are contexts, when you're young, like people say, okay, it must have been scary to drop out. Not really. I mean, I could have gone back. There's no flesh wounds involved in failure. So failure's, probably a better teacher and more of an okay thing. And I think this whole safety thing, physical safety, emotional safety, in many cases that we've gone too far.
Yeah.
And the more you do things that are incredibly difficult, and especially things that are meaningful, meaning they're not just about yourself, the higher that esteem would be. I think the most important thing for self-esteem is to find something you care about more than yourself. As long as you're in your own head, the nature of the mind is reductionism, right? Good, bad, right, wrong, all those types of things. Of course, life is much more, many different hues than that. And so when you find something you care about, whether it's your kids or something you want to bring to the world, nonprofit, doesn't matter what it is. If you find something you care about more than you won't be thinking about yourself all the time, and all your bullshit self-esteem shit just goes out the window.
If you say to a man, do you want to be bigger? They'll all say yes. But do they really wish for it? Oh, you'll take it for free. Well, you'll take anything for free. You'll take a Toyota Corolla for free, but you won't buy one. Taking something for free is very different than going out there and earning it and paying for it. They're very different things.
I've come to the realization, Jay, that criticism only bothers us to the degree we believe it about ourselves. I don't know your relationship with criticism, but certainly for me, I realized, the reason that bothers me is because it triggers an internal insecurity. Now, I can get annoyed at the person delivering the criticism, and maybe it's out of order, maybe they shouldn't, but I'm not sure how much that helps you. You can't control whether someone is or is not going to criticize you. What I can control and what I can work on is my internal state.
The people that almost immediately withdrew from me I'm very grateful to have seen it, but was unprepared for the transactional nature that can happen when you start to accumulate power. And I say that because if there's particularly young men, but it's true of women as well. Just be aware that as you grow and hopefully become more powerful in the world, the level of deception and the level of, even just in the lightest, like people trying to please you and make you happy, is going to escalate. And you're going to need to develop a discernment that I just never needed when I was in my young 20s.
And people do not realize how quickly their lives will start to change when they take full responsibility for their reactions. You're no longer dependent on everyone around you acting a certain way to feel good. You become like a master in yourself. That is the secret to long-term change, Jay. It's not looking outside for the answers. It's going, what is going on inside of me?
And then I look onto the horizon and there's this thing called Mount Ranjani. I say to the guide, what's that mountain over there? He goes, oh, that's Mount Ranjani. I go, oh, is that on the island of Bali? He goes, no, that's on a different island. I go, oh, how do you get there? You've got to catch a ferry. How many days does it take? Oh, you've got to go for 3 days. How long does it take to climb? Oh, it takes about this much time. Is it higher or lower or blah, blah, blah? How much is it? Can I book through you? And he says, Mr. Daniel, you need to appreciate the mountain you're standing on right now. Right? Puts his arm around me. You need to learn to appreciate the mountain you're already standing on.
It really took me, till I had lived quite a lot of life and had some, some significant experiences and given it some thought, that I realized, be here now means be here now and be uncomfortable and be okay with being uncomfortable and being okay with not being able to control my pleasure or my pain or my comfort level, but just being open to whatever comes. And I think that's a key shift, that I'm not trying to control my experience in the moment, and that it's okay to be unhappy or restless or uncomfortable, and not trying to run away from that, but just really turn and face it and embrace the discomfort.
So the biggest thing that people miss in today's world is that they're already standing on a mountain of value. They've already got so much value, but the biggest thing at the moment is the distraction of all the other stuff, and you're so close to your own mountain of value you can't see it. So the first thing I love to do is just put my arm around people and say, please learn to appreciate the mountain you're already standing on.
Do you know what I believe? I believe that life can be simple, that actually all that matters is that you have good relationships, that you're finding joy in life, and that we shouldn't overcomplicate things. And if on my gravestone I have written, Sarah was a nice person, I would be very happy with that. But a lot of the clever people I interact with, I think, wouldn't agree that that's necessarily a good achievement in life. But I see that as a great achievement.